And those that will judge will say you're aloof, but you know the truth is a seed. You know what you need is a conflagration. 'Cause when I see the blood and the bits of your broken tooth, it gives me the proof that I need. It's the proof that you bleed. It's a revelation. Yeah, it's a revelation. It's a revelation.
Not just an aquarium, not just a place that's been here for 110 years, but also a place that we can have art exhibits and we can have weddings and we can use in so many different ways. And I love the idea of a picnic because this is the very first picnic that we've had, and you guys brought it here to us, so thank you. And Ula, thank you so much for thinking of us and a lot of the research that you did. It's funny because I had flashback memories because I wrote my master's thesis on this building and why it became what it was and its downfall, and you found some of the articles, and it's funny, it brought me back to my research days and how this building was able to recreate itself through 110 years, whether it was through World War I or the Great Depression when Ula noticed that their prohibition, there weren't drinking, there was no drinking anymore, and so we had to bring in spirits from across the river in boats, and the aquarium became a speakeasy for a period of time. So this amazing place has seen a lot of ghosts, and we're still uncovering them as we go, and you guys will be a part of that story and using the aquarium in a new way. We were able to survive the Great Depression. We never closed, although we did decrease the exhibits that we had because we couldn't afford our marine exhibits. And one of the things that we had to do that Ula found in her research and that I had found as well and I used in my thesis is that the most exciting and unique exhibit that we had here during the Depression was a 250-pound loggerhead sea turtle. It was enormous. And they used to yank it out at Easter, and they would do tortoise versus the hare races with this poor turtle. But his name was Pete, and he was here forever, and he was enormous, and everybody always came to see him. Well, during the Great Depression, we couldn't afford him anymore, so we sold him to the highest bidder, and he went to a fish market, and he was sold as tortoise soup. And it's a really terrible story, and it's funny how I came upon it. I came upon actually the photos first. There was 3 photos of this giant tortoise, and he was in this huge hammock being put in, I thought, into his exhibit. Then there was another picture that started to make me worry, and that was him being weighed. Then there was a third picture that really made me worry, where he was upside down and he was being scrubbed with these giant scrub brushes, and women in fur coats were standing around and men in suits, and I thought, that doesn't look good. So we did some research and we were able to connect the photos with the actual story, and what was happening was the auction, to auction him off, the prize exhibit here at the aquarium, in order to sustain the rest of the exhibits and to keep the aquarium going through incredibly tough times. And so that's how the aquarium was able to survive for so long, 101 years. We closed in 2005. We had probably everybody can agree, a corrupt mayor. And then we picketed and we said, look, line in the sand. We are not letting another thing here in the city go. It's not acceptable. And so we picketed, and then they closed us anyway. We couldn't believe it. April 3rd, 2005, they closed and locked the doors, pushed us out. I was the last person to walk out of this place, and I couldn't believe it happened. So then I had to reinvent myself into going from being a fish tree hugger to an advocate for the building. And Vance was there, and Chris Meister was there, and Richard Kick, our curator, was there, and so many of these other amazing people who all agreed that this place was important to us as residents of the city of Detroit or the area, and so we fought for it. And 7 years later, we were able to reopen. Mayor Dave Bing cut the ribbon on September 15th, 2012, and he let us come in and do what we're doing now, including crazy stuff like having picnics and having art displays and letting people get behind the scenes and really come in at the ground level in a place that, I mean, could you go to the DIA and say, hey, I want, an exhibit and I want to be able to do this or this? Well, we try to be those people that say, yes, we're open to new ideas, we're open to reinvention. And so thank you for thinking of us, and Ula, thank you so much for your exhibit. I'm excited to take a closer look at it, and I'm really sorry that the ground was so hard for your picnic. And this is actually one other way that we are reinventing ourselves. Recently, a law firm, Butts & Long, who has a 110-year history to this aquarium, we did a weather vane contest, and so this is the winning weather vane. Has the electric wheels and the gar, which we are known for, and that'll be going up by the end of the year. And so you're going to see new things all the time, and keep us in mind for your creativity, because we are open to hearing, what you have to offer, because you guys are the ones that are coming behind us. So please get involved.
Came in and said, hey, I was just on the Canadian Club tour, and they said there used to be a speakeasy in the basement of the aquarium. We're like, oh my gosh, it's true.
We knew it.
But it was kind of cool that they're telling the same story that we are, so it's kind of neat.
And if you get a chance, there is an exhibit over here. It's the memorabilia tank. It's the stuff that I collected with the help of Vance when I wrote my master's thesis, to show how the building changed over the years, because it did change. From here down is 1954. From there up is 1904. But not only how the building changed, but how we changed as people. And I did it through the postcards. The postcards showed the building, and then on the back side was an oral history, because it was stamped by the post office. It had a private message to one person in the country and sending it to someone else, and you could read those private notes. And one of them, during the Depression, one said, "Arrive safe